Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another YouTube video. In this one, I wanted to talk about how to start and grow your consulting business and how I was able to grow mine to the point where we're capable of, over six-figure months in my company. And that's a pretty neat thing to see. It's cool to have those months. They do happen pretty often at this point. January was our first one, and we've had a few very close cuts since and a few official six-figure months since. And that's really cool to me. And it's taken me about 3.5 years to go to this point. And, it's not a simple thing. It is not something that I think people, let me start by saying I don't think everybody can do it. I think it takes a certain breed of, actually going all in and sacrificing a lot of other things in life in order to build a business to this level. And so I want to start by saying that because I don't want to come off like I've got this ultimate solution for anybody and everybody to start this. I do believe that everybody can start it if they're willing to put in the work, if they're willing to make the sacrifices that are required. So I'm going to start with that sort of disclaimer because I think the online business market in general, how to start a business market, it just kind of has a bit of fluff in it where it's like, hey, everybody can do this. And again, I believe everybody can if you're willing to put in the work, but not everybody's willing to do that, so therefore not everybody can. That's kind of my logic. So I'm going to start from the top and talk about what you actually need and talk about my journey and how I've gotten to where I've gotten to. And I want to start by saying, you do not currently have to be, in your own eyes, an expert. There's this idea that if you are one step ahead of somebody, or you've got just one answer to a problem, or you've achieved something, or even just gotten past something in life or in business that somebody else has gotten stuck on, that you can sell them that step. So you can almost imagine your life as like a bunch of pages in a book. And, let's say you're on page, 74 and somebody else is stuck on page 73 in their own book. You can sell them that flip, right? Because people will get stuck in all kinds of random areas because of life experience, because of the things that they've heard growing up, because of, they're not using the tool the right way. They're not, they don't understand whatever technique it is that you're teaching, whatever it is that you're doing, right? So you don't have to be the be-all, end-all industry leader to make a lot of money as an expert, as somebody with a service, a program, a course, or a mastermind, or whatever it is that you're doing, right? You just have to be one step ahead of people. So let me just start by saying that you don't have to be an all-in, this is all you think about expert, even though, it really helps to be sold out on what you do, okay? You just have to be one step ahead. You have to have one little bit of extra experience in the industry or in the solution that your clients are pursuing. Okay, so let's say it's weight loss. Okay, so let's say you have lost yourself, 50 pounds, or let's say you yourself are very fit and toned. Like, that's going to help you because, you're that step ahead. Or let's say you're helping people start their own businesses. I'm working right now with one of our clients instead of our program. His name is Brandon, and he's grown his business to 6 figures a year, and he's wanting to help other people start their own business. There's a huge niche for that. And he was convinced that there wasn't a niche for that because he's like, oh, but people who are teaching how to run businesses, they do like millions of dollars a year, so why should I be doing it? And I'm like, well, you'd be surprised. People are attached to you. They like your story. They want to be at your level, and that's why they're going to buy what they do or buy what you sell. So that comes to my next point. Instead of the other point, other than, be one step ahead, is to embody the outcome that you desire for your clients yourself. So, we've had a lot of people come into our program, High Level Systems, which is, where we help you start and scale or scale your existing business. This is where, we've taken people like Bastian Slot to, $200,000 a month from scratch a year and a half, 2 years ago. This is people like Doug and Haley Johnson. They came in at 6 figures a year. In 3 months, we got them to $100,000 a month. People like Dylan Gare, who's a total beginner, never sold a service outside of his own job before, never made money outside of his own job before, and had a $20,000 week selling services with our framework, getting sales calls, following our script, following our ideas for building a profitable service and product. So we've got a lot of incredible success stories coming out of High Level Systems. And what I've learned in helping these people is that, they have this idea that they themselves, A, need to be the industry leader, and B, they don't understand that you're not selling the actual program or service itself. You're selling the outcome that comes with it, the results that come with it. So, even for us in my company with high-level systems, it's not just a group coaching program. It's not just getting one-on-one attention with myself, with the coaches, with the people that have actually done what you're wanting to do. What it really is we are trying to help you get to where you want to get. What are your goals, right? And so once you fall into that frame, that mentality towards your business, instead of it being, I'm just a Facebook ads guy, or I am just a weight loss guy, or I am just even like a website builder. That's not what you are, though. It's really not. You are selling results. You're selling transformations. So you can look at companies like, for example, there's companies like ClickFunnels, and some of you may be familiar with ClickFunnels. If not, it's one of the industry-leading software tools for internet marketers and people with services or things to sell online. And it's essentially just a website builder at the end of the day. And the company will admit it itself that it's really just an overpriced website builder. But really, the reason they sell so well isn't because it's a good website builder. And frankly, there are better website builders when it comes to just like utility and like function. But what they do sell at the end of the day is results. They sell a dream of running a business that just creates cash flow for you. So if you look at their ads, for example, their ads are, explaining how if you set up a good funnel and you set up a good sales process, you can, get as rich as you want to get because you have this system that turns strangers into clients consistently. So it's less about having a good website and it's more about turning strangers into clients, which leads to you having financial freedom, right? So it's an outcome, not the service itself. So if you are, for example, you're in weight loss and you're in fitness, let's say you're in fitness, that's too broad. You need to narrow it down a little bit. Weight loss. Okay, that's a bit better. Weight loss for men that want to gain respect back from their wives. Now that's a niche, right? That's an outcome-based niche. Let's take another niche. Let's say you're a website builder, okay? That's too broad again. Let's say you're a website builder for e-commerce businesses. Okay, that's a bit better. You're a website builder for e-commerce businesses so that startups can have predictable revenue so that they aren't worried about future growth and they know that they're going to create cash for their ad spend. It's a better, again, outcome-based sale. So you have to think this way when you're starting your business, and this is what we help our clients do. We help them think through their service. One little tweak like that in your mentality and how you present your service could mean the difference between a $50,000 a year business and $1 million a year business. Legitimately, that little tweak and figuring out what's the outcome that I'm actually selling is the difference between a decent income with your business and a surreal income with your business. Just having a clear message of what you do and how it creates a result for your client, okay? So moving on to the next point. The next point is really there's two routes you can go as a consultant, and we really help people go the second route primarily, but I'll talk about the first real quick. The first route is, just having an online course that you send traffic to and people buy it. The second route is taking sales calls, having relationships with your clients, guiding them through the process, and, really making sure that they get results and not just having a program. So you see a lot of people out there, like, there's a lot of people who have like a $997 program or $297 or like a $500 or $100, $50, whatever program where it's like, hey, here's the 6 steps to success or whatever, or, how to lose weight in your 50s, or it can be, things like that, right? Things generally surrounding health, wealth, relationships. Those are the kind of the 3 main niches for consulting in general, at least at a mass market scale, right? And there's less mass market things like, sales consulting for startups, right? Which is something I've played around with. But that being said, a lot of people go that course route, and that's fine. You can do that. But in reality, I believe you are not monetizing the reach that you have online by sending people straight to a course. If you actually built a good backend, a good structure for getting clients results, like in high-level systems, for example, we have daily accountability calls, daily coaching calls every single day for our clients. So when you hop in, you have daily touch points with myself, with my team, with people in our community trying to succeed that are either at the level that you already want to be at or are getting there slowly. The total earnings of our community is like $800,000 a month. And we've got, I think, 50 people in here right now. We've had 500 people that we've worked with, almost 600 people now that we've worked with, right? And so it's a real community, and you have accountability. You have a structure of people coming in and actually nudging you to do the work. You can apply for one-to-one calls with myself or any of the coaches anytime. So we have this like structure, right, that is far more valuable and far more resilient to getting our clients results than, say, just running them through like a $400 program, right? So we'll even get hate comments sometimes. People will be like, oh, why does it cost as much as it costs? And I'm like, dude, it's because it's like you are paying to get results. You're not paying for information. You're paying so that we can push you from where you're at to where you want to get in a predictable way. And that's how we get such great results. Like we've got the interview coming up with Haley and Doug Johnson, who got to 6 figures a month from 6 figures a year in 3 months with us. And there's it's no guesswork as to why they were able to do it. We knew exactly what their problem was. We solved it at its core. So for your offer, really what I'm talking about is the level of torque in your offer. Like, with a car, torque is like, how much leverage your gas pedal has. When you press the gas, how quickly does the car pick up, right? Is it sitting there spinning, catching up, figuring it out? Or is it just like you press the gas and it's just off to the races? Like if you look at like a Tesla, for example, like the Tesla Model X, tons of torque. The dude has like so much horsepower, it's stupid. And it's such a light car and it's so grippy and it turns like it's on rails. And I sound like a Tesla fanboy, but I am a little bit just because it's a very well-made car. It's got a lot of torque. Your offer should have the same thing. Your offer should sound like, when you're talking it into your prospect's ears, it should sound like, man, I really need that. Like, if I don't have that, I probably won't get the result that I want to have. And that's why we do what we do. Because most entrepreneurs, they take 3, 4, 5 years to figure these things out. And for Doug and Haley, we figured it out in 3 months. For our client Aaron, in 4 months, we took him from $2,000 a month to $40,000 a month. Our client Luke Voigt, who started with me actually one-on-one back when I was still doing that forever ago, he's gone on to do $30,000 to $40,000 a month from scratch in his business. So we have authority, we have proof that we can do what we do. And my whole sale is, if you don't invest into your education, if you don't get the right help, you're going to take tons of time, tons of energy, tons of emotional output, tons of failed experiences. And until you drop your ego and just get help from people that have done it themselves, just like I've been able to do, I've spent over $100,000 on my own education. And that's because I know that I don't know what I don't know. And if you have this idea that you know what you know and it's all you're going to need to know in order to get to where you want to get, you're literally insane. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. And so that's kind of our pitch. And so your pitch for your offer should have a similar level of torque where you know how valuable what you're giving to your clients is. For example, like if you're the weight loss guy, and it's not just weight loss, because a lot of people are fine not losing weight. But then if you attach it to a man's marriage, you're losing weight to gain respect back from your wife. It's like, that's some torque. It's like, what is respect from your wife worth to you? Is it worth $100? Is it worth $2,000? Is it worth $5,000? Is it worth $20,000? A weekend retreat somewhere where we're working out together and we're getting you back into a mental state of actually doing the work again. Is that worth 20 grand? Maybe I'm sure it's worth 20 grand to a high performing business owner that has let his body slack for the past 10 years and finally wants to catch back up. Right? So you can start to see how important the torque of your offer is. And frankly, you can have the exact same offer, but the way you position it defines its torque. And then the way you create support around your offer defines its torque. So positioning and support. Those are the two real defining areas of torque on your offer. So to run back through, you only have to be one step ahead of your clients in order to help them. Okay, you don't have to be the industry leader. You can either go the course route or you can go the support route. I recommend support route. You're going to get better results. You're going to have a better time. I have intimate relationships with my clients. I have very real conversations with these people about the things they have to do. Not just things that they should do. Like literally, if you do not do these things, you will not get to your goals. Because not only have I gotten to 7 figures a year, but my network is filled with people doing way more than me. And I know, and I have intimate looks at their businesses and how it's all working. Like I could call up a buddy right now that's doing $10,000, $15,000 a day in his business and ask him how business is going and see if I can help him solve any problems. So I understand this industry, right? And you should have that same level of authority. Now, it'll take you a couple years. It'll take you maybe a couple months even if you're really good at what you do. But eventually you're going to build that authority. And the last thing I want to note is that people don't buy your offer. They buy the person who leads the offer. So who you are matters a lot in your company. This doesn't mean you have to change who you are. You just have to understand that you're going to attract people like yourself. So if you have like a history of like, for example, drug problems, right? And your program is helping people get out of that. You're going to find a lot of people with a history of drug problems who want to get out of that. And it's no coincidence that a good majority of our clients are young males. And it's not that I don't want to work with women. It's just that I'm a young male. and people naturally gravitate towards people like you. So the challenge becomes becoming somebody worthy of following. That's the real challenge of this business model, is becoming someone worthy of following. And how do you do that? Well, you need to have a vision. You need to have a mission. You need to have a why behind why you sell this product and why you do what you do, other than just trying to have, a sexy 6-figure a month, right? It needs to resonate with your core. My offer resonates with my core, because if it weren't for the ideas that I learned that I was able to implement into my business, I wouldn't have the career, the certainty, the confidence, the financial situation, and the freedom that I now have as a young 21-year-old man that I want to be able to give to other people too. I'm sitting on stupid amounts of money. I have tons of freedom, time to spend with my girlfriend, time to work on my business, time to do things that I actually want to do, versus, job searching like the typical 21-year-old would be doing right now for just an entry-level job someplace to hopefully work my way up the ladder and maybe have a good career someday. That's 95% of people our age or my age, depending on, how old you are. So that's kind of the message, right? Help you start a business, help you get ahead of your career, help you actually build real wealth through your business and generational wealth through your business. Actually build something you're proud of. So hopefully this makes sense. This is just some thoughts. I mean, obviously I can't go into everything today. This is just a short YouTube video. This is why we have the offer to book a free one-to-one consult call with our team. And this is not a sales call, okay? This is not a pressurized situation where you're going to be forced into making a decision. Even if you don't hop in, you're still going to get 45 minutes to 60 minutes of intimate talk time, either with myself or one of our head coaches inside of our program that will know exactly what you need to do to get to where you want to get, okay? And we only make offers and we invite people into our program if it makes sense for their current situation. So if you want a little extra value out of this video, most people, they just leave it to YouTube and they just say, hey, thanks for watching, subscribe, I'll see you later. But we wanted to go above and beyond and give you the ability to actually have a real conversation with people who have done what you're wanting to do. So you can check that link out in the description. It's just a quick schedule page. You fill out the form all the way in full. Give us as much information about you as possible so that we can know, where you're coming from, where you're at. If you're a total beginner, that's fine. If you've already scaled up, that's fine. It doesn't matter where you're coming from, because the way that we operate as a company is more than likely, at this point, having worked with almost 600 people individually, we have someone like you that we've helped and gotten results for, and we know how to replicate that process. As well, we know the principles and core ideas and strategies that work across the board, industry-wide. I literally haven't found a single niche or industry that our ideas can't be applied to in order for you to scale your business. So if you're wanting to start your consulting business, you've really got two options. One, go your own way, figure it out yourself. And it took me, again, years to figure it out until I finally started deciding to get help from people that have actually done what I'm wanting to do, or cut into that process, get the help that you deserve in your business, because you know as well as I do that you just want to hit your goals. You just want to have a good business. And until you make that leap, I can tell you from experience, until you make that leap and until you get help, you will not, period, see the results that you're wanting to get. And that's just how it works. And it's kind of a sad reality, because in a perfect world, everybody's empowered and they know exactly what they have to do. But it's also kind of a beautiful reality, because it forces you to humble yourself, ask questions, and get the help that you need in order to get to where you want to get. So thanks so much for watching this video. If I were to summarize the points, it's a few things. Be one step ahead of your market. Sell the results and the transformations, not just, the service itself. Sell actually where they want to arrive. Okay? Be very clear on what your niche is and be very clear on what your offer is. I would recommend selling it over the phone, having conversations, and actually speaking to people and just asking honest questions and seeing if they're a good fit, and inviting people, just like we do. I would say probably 25 to 30% of the people that we talk to will end up joining, because, for the most part, it's just not a good fit, and that's fine. But even if the people don't join, they still get tons of value, and they'll probably come back. Like, we had a client, for example, just do that. He talked to me like 6 months ago, and he said, you know what, it's not the time right now, but I'll come back. It's like, all right, we'll see if that works out. And he came back 6 months later, he joined us, and that's just how we roll. So anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I will speak to you guys in the next one, and be one step ahead of your market, solo transformation, take sales calls, and stay patient, honestly. Like 6 to 12 months of having one offer, taking calls, and getting great results for your clients will more than likely set you up for the next decade. And so the final challenge I would say is just don't change your niche. Don't change your offer. Don't change anything until you absolutely know that your niche or your offer is the problem and not just your marketing or not just your mindset towards your business. Make sure that when you change something, it's actually what needs changed and not just your theory on what needs changed, because you kind of have this little intuition going on inside of you that most of the time actually isn't even that accurate. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.